In Afghanistan, a funeral ceremony was held for Vice President Mohammad Qasim Fahim, who died of natural causes 2 days earlier at the age of 57. Several thousand people gathered as Fahim was laid to rest at a cemetery outside Kabul. Government officials and foreign dignitaries also paid their respects to Fahim at ceremonies at the Defense Ministry and the Presidential Palace. Fahim was an ethnic Tajik commander who led forces against Taliban militants as part of the Northern Alliance. In Ukraine, protesters rallied to demand that the European Union impose sanctions against Russia over its military intervention on Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula. The protest took place outside the EU's offices in Kyiv. The EU has threatened sanctions against Russia over Moscow's deployment of troops and its support for Crimean separatists who want to join the territory to Russia. In the Russian Republic of Tatarstan, activists rallied in support of Crimean Tatars and Ukraine's territorial unity. At the March 10th rally in Kazan, the small group of Tatar demonstrators condemned the planned referendum on Crimea joining Russia, scheduled for March 16th. Crimea's Tatar community has strongly opposed moves by the peninsula's pro-Russian politicians to separate from Ukraine and join Russia. In Belarus, opposition activist Vladimir Yaromenak was released from prison after completing a 3-month term for failing to comply with the terms of his preventive police supervision. The 23-year-old activist of the unregistered Young Front political movement was greeted by his wife and fellow activists as he left jail in the Brest region. Yaromenak was sentenced to 6 years in prison for his role in mass protests against the disputed December 2010 election that returned President Alexander Lukashenko to power. Lukashenko pardoned Yaromenak, but he's been rearrested and tried several times for alleged parole violations. In Tajikistan, military units and emergency services held a joint security drill in the southern Kulab region. The March 10th exercise marked the first time such a drill has taken place in the region. Kulab is regarded as a region frequently used by traffickers to smuggle narcotics from neighboring Afghanistan to Russia and elsewhere. In Pakistan, supporters of former President Pervez Musharraf demonstrated in Islamabad to show their loyalty to the ex-military ruler. The protest came as a court delayed until March 14th what's expected to be Musharraf's formal indictment on treason charges over his 2007 declaration of emergency rule. Lawyers for Musharraf presented to the court Interior Ministry warnings that their client faces threats to his life. In Iraq, security forces say they've regained control of a road in Anbar province where Sunni Islamists have been waging an insurgency. The road connects Ramadi, the capital of Anbar, with the city of Hit. The insurgents seized control of sections of Ramadi and nearby Fallujah around the beginning of the year. In Kyrgyzstan, the Education Ministry announced that students will no longer be able to take their graduation exams in the Uzbek language. The tests will now only be administered in Kyrgyz or Russian. The ministry says that last year, when the testing was conducted in 3 languages, more than 1,600 students took their exams in Uzbek. And that's the video roundup from Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty.